Hey guys, welcome to today's show. Now in this episode I'm going to take you to Kentucky for some whitetail deer hunting during peak rut. Now at this point in the season I've been hunting hard, and on this morning I decided I would just go out for a short hunt. So I headed to a ground blind at this little intersection area where I had a little Trax Family Product micro plot, some RTO minerals out, and guess what? It's peak rut, so you know I'm taking my Denver's Deer Sense Red. So I took my Denver's Red, I doused me a scent wick, I put it out on a limb, and I just got my blind and I sat back and waited to see what happened.
Well, it's about 7:30. Kentucky rifle season. I was out yesterday. Just encountered one deer and just jumped it. Was out spotting and stalking it on one of our properties. So I'm back on our sand branch lease in Lawrence County, Kentucky, and I'm just hanging out in a ground blind or hilltop blind this morning. They like to cross here and coming from there's some trails down over the hill behind me, and then coming across into the WMA property. So just hanging out here this morning. Got the Denver's Red out doing some rattling and grunting. I'll give this a few hours and see what happens, and if it stays slow I'll get out and do a little walking and see what I can drum up that way. But it's about 25 degrees this morning, staying with the cold here in Kentucky. But it's a great morning. No wind, little frost, still some snow on the ground from earlier in the week. So couldn't be a better morning to be out. So I'm just going to hang out here and relax. See if we can't have something stroll by here in a little while.
Deer hunters are always looking for that extra advantage, and here at FRO we are no different. That's why we use Denver's Deer Sense. DDS has a complete line of products that's 100% fresh and pure. So whether it's premium buck, premium doe, estrus, or one of their other great products, you can always get the best with DDS. Minerals are an important part of managing your own land. That's why we trust Rack Tracker Outdoors Minerals and Attractants. RTO allows us to give the deer extra nutrition and antler growth, so we're hunting larger and healthier deer. So the next time you're in need of minerals, reach for Rack Tracker Outdoors Minerals and Attractants. Well, like I said, it couldn't have been a more picture-perfect morning. It was about 25 degrees with no wind, frost, a little snow on the ground. So it's just one of those days that you dream of for whitetail deer hunting during the rut. And I had a lot of tricks in my bag that day. Like I said, with the Denver's Red, I was going to rattle, do some grunting, and all those things. So I definitely was going to take the action to the deer.
Still here. It's about 8 o'clock, but I wanted to jump back on here real quick and just give a little shout out to this Scentlock suit. I'm wearing the Revenant from Scentlock, and this suit is amazing. I've wore it this whole season, late season, and temperatures have been in the 20s most of that time, and it's the best suit I've ever worn. It keeps you warm. It's really flexible and you can move, and it's got all the right cuts for bow hunting or just to be able to move around in it. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to Scentlock and thumbs up for what they do with their gear. This late season stuff is fantastic for these cold Kentucky days.
Well, even though it was a beautiful morning, things stayed slow, but they were about to take a big turn and things were getting ready to get real interesting.
Well, I just put a shot on one. I'm not sure if I got the camera turned around, but I had the Tacticam running, so hopefully that picked up the footage. He didn't go down. It's been one of those years for me. I hope I put a good shot on it. I had the scope, had the crosshairs on him. He come right up. I got the Denvers hanging right here. And he come right up to it. I could hear it. I could see his horns, and he come right up over the edge there. And like I said, I'm not sure that I swung the camera around far enough. Got a little excited on it. But most important thing is I hope I put a good shot on it. So I'm going to go check it here in just a second and see what happens. He runs back towards the WMA property. I just hope I put a good shot on him. It was a pretty good buck. And like I said, I don't think I can handle another miss this year. It's been tough. Missed two with the bow. When I lost my bow in the fire. And then I missed one earlier from the same area with a muzzle loader. And so let's hope this new 30-06 did the job. He wheeled and went that way, so I don't know. I'm not for sure. But we'll check it out and see. Keep our fingers crossed. I probably could have took a little more time on it. He didn't know I was here. But but the crosshairs were there, so let's see what happens.
Now that old boy came straight up that point with his nose in the air towards that Denver's red. And when he come up there, I could tell he was one that I wanted to shoot. So I had the camera already on and got the gun ready. And when he turned and came across, I thought I'd swung the big camera over far enough. Unfortunately, I hadn't. But my Tacticam saved the day. I also had my Tacticam mounted to my rifle. I had turned it on. So let's take a look at a little better footage of me actually pulling the trigger on this buck. Like I said, the Tacticam saved the day there. It gave me a little better angle on my shot so you could see the buck as it come through. Now, as you could tell, I was a little bit shook up there because when I shot, the buck wheeled and he took off. And unfortunately, where I was setting, he had come up a point and there was a holler going this way and this way. And when he wheeled, he went that, just in that direction. So I had no idea where he went. And at this point in the season, I'd already missed 2 deer with a bow, 1 with a muzzleloader, so I really didn't know if I could take missing another one again. But I was really confident in my shot, so it didn't take me very long to want to get out of that blind and go look for some blood. So let's see what we could find.
Well, we gave him a couple minutes there, and I got to know if I hit the shot or not. So I felt good about the shot, but I couldn't tell any evidence of what happened with the deer. And there's a lip right here, and so he just disappeared when he turned. I don't know. So we're going to ease over here and look for blood and see what we can come up with. So we'll head that direction. Well, this was the proximity of where he was standing, and I've looked around here a little bit and I'm not seeing any blood. So what I want to do is just throw a big pattern. I've done this before. I think a deer was in a particular spot when I shot, and not had, and then come back and maybe throw a bigger pattern and find that he wasn't quite where I thought he was at. So I'm just going to look real good for blood here, and then we'll go from there and see what I can come up with here.
Well, as you can tell, it was turning into another one of those days. So when I got out there, I couldn't find any blood, and I really wasn't sure what direction it went in. But there's no way I'm going to pull the trigger on an animal and not spend a lot of time looking for some kind of sign of or trail, to try to find it. So it was time to stop hunting and start hunting for some blood or for an animal, because I was really confident in that shot, but like I said, it was just a mystery of what happened to that deer at this point.
Well, still no blood. I've thrown a big pattern here, and this is just a mystery to me because, like I said, I felt like that shot was a good shot. So I don't know if the deer is not bleeding yet or what. So the only thing I know to do is to do my due diligence and throw a pattern here and look, just try to look and see if I can find him. But definitely a mystery to me because I felt like I was on him and just not finding anything. So and the way the blind sets, it rolls up a little bit. So when he turned, he disappeared. So I couldn't see what direction he went in. So I'm just going to throw a big sweeping pattern here, look for some blood, and look for a deer and see what happens. Definitely can say I'm disappointed because that was a really good deer, and like I said, it's been a tough year this year. So that's reality, though, and that's life, I guess you could say. So hey, we're going to miss him, and we're going to get on bad streaks and stuff. So
I don't know if it was a clean miss or a hit just yet, but I'm going to look around and see what I can come up with, and we'll just go from there. So, wish me luck, and we'll see what we can find. Well, I'm still looking, and I'm over 100 yards from where I shot, probably close to 150 or 200 yards maybe. But I found sign where a deer has went over this hill here. Still, I haven't found any blood, but one in a hurry, real hard in the leaves and the dirt, has went down over the mountain down in this holler here. So he's worth the look-see. And besides, it wouldn't matter if it was a doe, it'd be worth it. You pull the trigger on one, you want to make sure you do everything that you can to recover the deer. So I'm going to follow this trail down over the hill here and see where it may lead, and give it another shot here before we call it quits. So I've canvassed the area pretty good. Already been down this way and back up both sides of the point that he came up on, and I found this. And actually, when I found this place, I did hear noise down underneath me there. So I'm just going to ease my way down over the side of the mountain here and see what I come up with. So it's going to be a pretty good hike down in and back out, but it's worth it. So I'll see what I can find. I'll pan the camera around and kind of show you what I'm getting ready to tackle here. But that's part of mountain hunting, so you're going to go up them and you're going to go down them. So I'm going to go down this one and back up it again. Hopefully I'm dragging a deer out of here, so see what I can find. The SRB Field Rest is perfect for turkey hunting. Be sure to check out their complete line of products at srbfieldrest.com. Whether you're hunting or just getting in some practice, I always trust Luminoc to light the way. Light them up. Well, I finally made it back to the truck. The search didn't pan out. You know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. I'm confident that I made a good shot, but without the deer going down or seeing any blood or finding the deer, I really don't know. So I guess that'll just be the mystery to this one, whether or not I actually hit him or not. But like I said, you know, he was in the crosshairs, so just have to let it go at that, I guess. But you know, I did everything I could do to find him. I searched and searched. I'm exhausted. 200 yards, at least 200 yards straight away, and then fanned both right and left. Then the trail where I seen a deer had run over the hill, I didn't find any signs like where one had struggled or anything, but I could see the big hoof prints in the leaves and stuff, and I took that all the way down to the bottom of that holler and looked and fanned out down there, and nothing. The problem with that, and I don't know what you'll be able to see on camera, is the way that blind sets. It rolls up and then it goes down this point. You got this point that comes down with two big hollers this way, and then where the blind set, and there's a big holler on the back. So we're right there at the intersection on top of the mountain. And so the blind's down a little bit. So when that deer walked up, I actually seen his horns before the deer. And then he came up and he turned to my left. He gave me a good shot. I went to make the shot, and I had on some big gloves. My hands were cold at the time, so I had to work my finger in there and everything. But I dropped the crosshairs on him and pulled the trigger. And when he turned, this is the part I don't know what you'll be able to see or not, but when he turned, he disappeared, because he comes up over that lip
and then so he went back down over it. When he goes down over that, I have no idea what direction he went because he goes out of sight there. So I don't know if he went straight off that point or right or left, and that's why I fanned out so far both ways. And but he just disappears at that point. So it just pull the trigger, he disappears, and that's where we're at. So needless to say, I'm pretty disappointed in that, and it has been a struggle this year, but just keep hunting, and sometimes you lose sight of why you're out and everything. It was an absolute beautiful morning. It was comfortable sitting in that blind and just watching the sun come up, the frost on and everything. And then the deer did, he did exactly what I was looking for, because we're pretty much in the rut right now, and or in the rut, and I had that Denver's red hanging on that wick, so I thought, this would be picture perfect here. And sure enough, I think that's what he come up there smelling around, because he come straight towards it, and then he turned broadside. So I enjoyed myself, and like I said, I'm disappointed to say the least, but it's still a pleasure to be out, and we can't lose sight of that. So hopefully in the end, it makes you feel better to maybe hit one and not find it, but hopefully in the end it was a clean miss, and the deer's still running around out there. So, but like I said, I guess we'll never know. But it's been a good day because I had the opportunity to be out and enjoy God's creation, so can't lose sight of that. So disappointing, yes, but a blessing to be out today. So we'll just pack it up here, go get something to eat, take a shower, because I am exhausted and I am covered in sweat. So we'll clean up, get something to eat, and go watch a little football, I guess, today, and figure out another plan to come back again another day and try it one more time. That's all we know to do.
Well, to say I was disappointed would be a definite understatement. That was a great buck. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It came to the Denver's red. It gave me the side shot that I wanted, and I was extremely confident when I pulled the trigger. But I could not find the deer, could not find the blood, so it's total mystery. Did I miss it? Did I hit it? Did it run off and die? Did it run off and live? Total mystery to me. Now, I'd spent about 3 hours looking for that deer because I owed it to the deer, to myself. Once you pull the trigger, you got to do what you got to do to make sure that you can find the animal. So, but like I said, no sign of the animal. So I really just don't know what happened there that day. But that's part of hunting, and we miss, we hit, we can't find, we do our very best, and that's all we can do. So anyway, I wanted to bring that to you, share it with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And like I say, as always, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Full Range Outdoors.